And Shamad Chambers, who does still not really realize his full potential, but last year as an Edmonton Eskimo was the outstanding Canadian in the Grey Cup. Maybe this is his breakout year with Saskatchewan.
One team will win their first game of the season. The other will remain winless. Eskimos will get their hands on the football first. There's Joe McKnight, former USC product, back to accept the opening kickoff of this game. Tyler Krapina to kick it off, and we are underway from Commonwealth. And here's McKnight across the 25-yard line, and he'll drive his way to about the 28 to 23-yard return. And Mike Riley coming off a 383-yard passing performance in his opening game overtime loss against Ottawa, leads the offense out.
Yeah, when you complete 70% of your passes and throw for almost 400 yards, a touchdown, and have no interceptions, you would think that'd be enough to win, but that Ottawa offense kept pace. In fact, put 45 points on the board, but Riley and the offense in Edmonton did their thing in week 1.
Now in the preseason, the Eskimos went right after the Roughriders. A 3-play scoring drive here, an inside handoff to John White, who had 43 yards rushing against Ottawa.
Yeah, it would become more and more a part of this offense. John White, dual threat, had 5 catches, 56 yards in week 1. There's the combo of Adarius Bowman and Darrell Walker in the receiving corps, and we've mentioned Chris Getzlaff, former Saskatchewan Roughrider, and an offensive line, Matt O'Donnell and Simeon Rotier, the guards.
Roughriders allowed only 11 first downs against Toronto, and pre-snap movement draws flags.
Procedure, Edmonton number 65, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
I think Simeon Rotier said, hey, I just got mentioned in starting lineups, and stood up for a second a little early.
Back it off 5, it'll be 2nd and 11. Five receivers out. 3-man rush. Riley with time underneath. Pass is caught by White, but closing quickly is the rookie Samuel Igualman. 4 tackles last week in his CFL debut, and a 2-and-out to start for the Roughrider defense.
Yeah, Igualman's close there was dynamite. I mean, he was there in a hurry. It looked like White had a little bit of room when he caught this little swing bound. Check down pass from Riley, little swing pass, but quick close from Samuel Igualman.
So Nick Dembski drops deep. Grant Shaw, and movement before the snap once again.
Already a better start for this Saskatchewan defense.
Procedure,
than in week 1.
Edmonton number 27, 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
Dupoisson moved prematurely. Jason Moss was upset about 5 15-yard penalties in the opening game of the season. A couple of flags on the first possession here.
That's been an area of focus for both these teams leading into this week, and eliminate some of those penalties.
Flags are still on a clear, calm night in Edmonton. A threat of rain has passed. Dembski on a short kick, a 37-yarder, and a good return for Dembski into Edmonton territory down around the 45-yard line. So Dembski brings it back 17, and Durant leads the offense up.
100th start for Darian Durant, and last week was the first time since Labor Day of 2014 he went wire to wire in a football game. A little bit sore at the end of it, but threw for over 300 yards in game 1. His return from his Achilles tendon injury.
22 yards away from 25,000 in his career. Going to hand it off first, and Curtis Steele, big hole, and Steele rumbles for a first down and more down around the 25-yard line.
Thaddeus Coleman and a newcomer at guard, Kennedy Estelle, on the right side of that O-line. They create the opening. 18-yard gain to start things out offensively for Curtis Steele.
Steele with 10 carries, 61 yards, 115 yards from scrimmage in the opener. Kennedy Estelle, newcomer at right guard, finished at Western Alabama for 3 years, a Texas Longhorn.
Andrew Jones moved to the backup role.
Here's Durant on a roll, throws to the sideline. Chambers made the catch, but didn't have a foot in bounds, and the former Eskimo still looking for his first catch as a Rough Rider.
Yeah, last year's Grey Cup outstanding Canadian. And this ball just leads him a little bit too far outside that sideline. Wondering about that left toe. Actually a little closer than it looked live. I think they got it right.
So 2nd and 10. 3 receivers near side. Durant looks for bag in the end zone. Touchdown! And the Rough Riders have their first lead of 2016.
Open down the middle. Safety Neil King playing a little bit far to that side of the field. Looks like almost a cover 2 with 2 deep players, and King just can't get there. Good timing on the throw from Darian Durant. Second touchdown pass of the year for number 4.
First TD of the season for Rob Bagg, who had his 100th career game start last week. And Durant goes over 25,000 yards with that connection. Rapina adds the convert, and the Rough Riders off to a quick start. After falling behind early in their season opener, it's Durant to Bagg, and a quick 6 for Saskatchewan.
Other Ladler is going to cut underneath. Second quarter.
Look at Justin Cox, who had that end zone interception that Riley referenced. So underway, second half, and former Eskimo Kendall Lawrence up beyond the 30 before he's wrestled down.
Good half by Darian Durant. Good second quarter by Mike Riley. Durant 152 yards passing and used all his targets, really. Nick Dembski was involved. Rob Bagg in the first touchdown, the very first drive of this game. Some real nice, pretty catches by Ricky Collins, the newcomer. The one guy that he had trouble getting the football to was Shamont Chambers. Had him open a couple of times, but he spread it around to the rest of the receiving corps very nicely in that first half.
Good numbers for Durant. And here we go. Curtis Steele starts on the ground up to the 36-yard line. A 3-yard pickup for Curtis Steele. Just 1 2 and out in the opening half for the Rough Riders on offense. Darian talked about not seeing the field well last week. You think that's just rust and not being...
Absolutely. Yeah, first game since, full game since Labor Day 14.
Ricky Ray made a similar comment after his first game. There's a pass to Chambers, a quick close by Dion Balloon, but Chambers holds on. He'll be short though of the first down.
Balloon's the guy who knocked the ball up and landed in the hands of Ricky Collins in the end zone. He's short of the first down, but strong hands by Chambers, and Darian Durant's not giving up on his Canadian wide receiver.
So third down, McKnight has fumbled once and had a little trouble fielding another kickoff, so a bit of an adventure for him so far tonight as Josh Bartell sets for his second punt. McKnight secures it at the 28, brings it back across the 40. 43-yard punt, and McKnight brings it back up. close to 15 yards.
You know, Ryan, with that interview with Mike Riley, talking about that interception, that was one mistake, but he did get it going in the second quarter. 182 yards passing, and it's not a surprise that number 4 got involved in the offense when he did get it rolling. Nadarius Bowman, that touchdown throw to Chris Getzlaff, his first as an Eskimo.
Touchdowns on their last 2 possessions of the first half. 3-man rush to the sidelines. Getzlaff wide open and in the Saskatchewan territory. Finally dropped at the 51-yard line by Buddy Jackson.
Right back to that tempo as talked about in that sideline interview. And like Mike Riley said, if you can get that tempo rolling, you get in that rhythm, in that groove that everyone talks about, that zone that the quarterback's in, can do a lot of damage.
Mike Riley at 200 yards passing so far, and Corey Watson takes that swing pass and steps out around the 46.
You know, with Corey Watson and Chris Getzlaff, you've got 2 Canadian receivers that you could potentially get to 1,000 yards. I mean, I've been saying that about Corey Watson for some time. He's had some injury issues throughout his career as well that's kind of hampered him from getting and reaching that potential.
Magic number is the number on his back, 18. He finally played all 18 games in a season for the first time last year. Second down and some trouble there, and a pass incomplete intended for Bowman, but you could see Riley affected by the Roughriders pass rush.
Yeah, it just started to collapse around him, and Buddy Jackson was in very good position there on Nadarius Bowman. That was a dangerous throw for Riley. The Riders still trying to get some chemistry with their secondary.
Grant Shaw comes on. They won't try a 52 to 53 yard field goal here. Not much of a breeze as Shaw, his line drive kick fielded quickly. 29 yards, the length of the punt. But good cover by the number 3 quarterback, Jordan Lynch, downfield in a hurry to bring down Dembski. Well, Ricky Collins' big first half, favorite target so far tonight for Darian Durant. The Red Blacks and the Argos at BMO at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific across the TSN network, and on 4K Wednesday night. Trevor Harris against his old team, over 300 again tonight. Red Blacks 2-0-1 and the Argos 2-1. After a win over Saskatchewan and BC, and there's Durant threading the needle and getting it into Roosevelt, who was surrounded by green and gold.
Well, Kenny Ladler, the Vanderbilt product, drops underneath this and gets his hand on the football. I mean, number 37 is going to slide over, and he actually gets his hand on this ball. I thought he was going to pick it, but Roosevelt hangs on.
An 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2, 4 receivers wide side, and Steele crashing ahead, met at the 30, and had to just get beyond that for the first down, so let's check the spot. It'll be 3rd and inches.
Chris Jones loves to get this high tempo and short yardage before the defense can really get set.
There has been an alteration on.
Whoa, drop.
Oh, they have trouble with Durant on 3rd down as well. Was going to make the point that Moniz did not come in, but the problems continue. And even if the Roughriders get the ball back off the fumble, I don't think they got beyond the 30-yard line, which is where they had to be. They had to get about a half foot beyond the 30.
Upside and downside, Chris, to running that tempo when you're in short yard, and Chris Jones did this as the head coach in Edmonton as well. He wants to get up on the line of scrimmage quickly so that the defense isn't really set by the time he snaps the ball and goes ahead and runs the quarterback sneak no matter who's in there. This time it's Durant. The downside is if you're not completely ready and the center's not ready to make that exchange, you can have problems there, and that's exactly what happens. The downside rears its ugly head. That's 2 turnovers in short yardage in 2 weeks.
Dan Clark was back in, and a problem with Moniz, and now a problem with Durant in consecutive weeks.
That snap looked low. I'm not sure it got up into the hands of Durant at all. It looked like it bounced off his shin, and then he scrambled to try and just recover it.
So a chance for the Eskimos to capitalize. John White, a stutter step, and fights for extra yardage. Down around the 22, he's got close to 8. 70 on the night for John White so far. Number 3 in the league a couple of years ago. White, like Durant, missing last season with an Achilles injury. Back in the hands of White, dragged down by former Eskimo Otha Foster. And let's see if that's enough for a first down.
One thing Chris Jones will focus on defensively is to try and get his run defense to be as good as it can get, and tops in the league. That's what he did with the Edmonton Eskimo run defense. In a couple of years, they went from dead last to first.
Now 3rd and a yard, and there's a surge behind big Matt O'Donnell. Justin Sorensen. First down, Eskimos.
John White's having, a pretty good night in the run game, and this is a work in progress for Chris Jones to try and get this run defense from giving up almost 120 yards on the ground per game last year to cut that in half.
Stay on the ground to White. And taken down by Aguavin.
Chris Jones, as you can see, in Edmonton in 13, 145 yards a game, which was dead last. He cut that way down in 14 and then even more in 50. Stop the run, get teams in 2nd and long. You play good defense that way.
2nd and 6 here. In the red zone, pressure on. Riley steps up, dumps it off, incomplete. Took a hit from Greg Newman, and it will be 3rd down.
Well, that was one of those hits that you hope the quarterback just gets up. Newman steps into it just as Riley is delivering, and he's wondering if Jason Moss should possibly challenge that he got hit in the head.
And the challenge flag's out already.
Yeah,
so
I'm not sure if Newman got the head out of there or not, but there's Jason Moss. Now, roughing the passer is a challengeable call now by the coaches.
And we saw this work to Chris Jones's advantage in the game last week.
Edmonton is challenging that there was roughing the passer on the play. We'll review the play.
For Cam Walker with the helmet hit on Darian Durant. Let's see what kind of contact Greg Newman made.
Here he comes. Yeah, well, crown of the head looks like it did get up in the chin of Mike Riley. I mean, he immediately went to the bench pointing to his chin to say to Jason Moss, he did get me up there, you can't hit the quarterback in the head. Started with the official, talking to him about that, and then went to Moss. Well, it's good when your leaders, offensively and defensively, your leaders understand the rules and the rule changes. We'll see here. Does the crown of the head get to the chin?
Newman, the former Saskatoon Hilltop.
If there was any intent there from Newman at all.
After review, we have roughing the passer. Saskatchewan number 42. We'll go half the distance to the goal. Automatic, first down.
It is difficult for tacklers, and I don't think there was any intent from Newman to make this hit, but the crown of his head is coming up into the chin of Riley. You can see the head rock back. And You just cannot hit the quarterback in the head, or grab it, or hit it with your arm, or anything. BC Lions found that out last night. A very controversial call, I'll say,
but
late in that game.
That one almost identical to the Walker hit on Durant a week ago that got the same result. Here's Riley scrambling, throws back of the end zone, and threw it away with pressure from Jonathan Newsom, the newcomer at defensive end, who turned up the heat.
What a redirect by Jonathan Newsom. I mean, he is going to get kind of caught up in the middle here, right off the edge.
Illegal contact. Saskatchewan number 31. Half the distance to the goal.
Wow.
First down.
Flag on Justin Cox.
And he did take his head out of that hit on Mike Riley, but there was a flag at the other end on the man with the interception.
So first and goal at the 4 for Edmonton.
Couple of hits back to back on 13. He was slow to get up there.
So from the 4, the handoff, John White, touchdown! Third touchdown of the season for White, second on the ground. And the Eskimos have their first lead of the game.
John White got himself small in the hole. I don't think I've seen him go down tonight once on first contact.
Yeah, he's a dynamic, diminutive back. 5'8", 185. And now the Eskimos will line up and go for 2 and try and make it a 3-point lead. Saw the Red Blacks go for 2 on an opening touchdown as BC did last night. Both failed. Kind of surprises you when you see that, but
You understand this one,
I think you understand this one. So a touchdown off the turnover, now going for 2. It's swung out here to Walker, but he runs out of real estate. Newsom again shows you the range as he tracked around Walker and prevented the 2 points. So it's a 1-point Eskimo lead, an 8-play, 30-yard drive after the turnover on downs, and a touchdown for John White. From HBO, the network that brought you True Detective, comes the next groundbreaking crime drama, The Night Of. An 8-part event premieres Sunday at 9 Eastern, only on HBO Canada.
Where's Daddy? Touchdown, Daddy.
Daddy's in the end zone. John White giving the Eskimos a lead.
Just want to show you the illegal contact on Justin Cox right here on Darrell Walker. You can't jam after 5 yards. It was beyond 5 yards.
Kendall Lawrence brings it back just across the 25. That's where the Saskatchewan Roughriders will go to work, trailing for the first time on the night. I want to talk about Jonathan Newsom, the newcomer at defensive end, and we see why so much hype.
Unbelievable speed on that redirect. That was the illegal contact call. This is a 2-point convert. He ran past his teammates to get there. I mean, this is a guy that in his first game in the NFL was the AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a lot of people talking about how he had a good camp and is going to be a star player. Well, man, he runs like that. He's going to make some plays.
Pass for Ricky Collins, knocked down by J.C. Sherritt. Got his hands on the football. Sherritt talked about how intense the preseason matchup was between these two teams. More intense than any preseason game he'd ever played.
Well, that might have something to do with the coach on the Saskatchewan Roughriders sideline. But
kind of like saying, we won with you, but we're going to keep winning without you.
they'd love to make that statement.
2nd and 10. 4 receivers near side, and Chambers brings it down. There's a former Eskimo with the catch over Dion Ballou, and the Roughriders offense has a fresh set of downs.
Now, this has happened a couple of times where J.C. Sherritt has shown blitz a couple times. He's getting caught a little bit, showing blitz, and then trying to get back to his drop. Made a nice play on the first down here, but he shows blitz again. This time is a little late out of that drop, but Shabbat Chambers, strong hands, makes the catch right in front of him. Or just behind him, I should say.
A couple of catches now for Chambers in the game. First down, and Durant has to throw that away. Pressure from Ruben Frank.
Disguise is great defensively because it can cause a quarterback to stop his cadence and start and call an audible, or maybe even change the play, change the direction of the play. What you have to be careful of defensively is that you don't get caught in that disguise and then you open up your zone behind you. And I've seen J.C. Sherritt do that a couple of times. He's made one play, but he's got caught twice.
Newcomer Alex Hoffman-Ellis part of that defensive set now for Mike Benavides. And Rob Baggs got the catch. Driven out at the Eskimo bench by the safety Neil King. And it's 6 yards and third down for Saskatchewan.
That last play, J.C. Sherritt decided no disguise, second and long, just stay where you are. He had a man, which was Curtis Steele out of the backfield. He knew his defensive secondary behind him was in man-to-man. So he didn't mess around, just took his guy, and of course, right now the Riders have to punt.
Shift on by the Rough Rider punt team, and Bartel boots it away. Line drive, and it will bounce out of bounds around the 28-yard line. That's a 33-yard punt with no return. Mike Riley has fought back from a deficit and has his Eskimos in the lead here with under 4.5 to go, third quarter. Commonwealth Stadium, a chance for some of the fans, Saskatchewan and Edmonton fans, to get their picture taken with the Grey Cup. Make a donation to the local food banks, either cash or food, and what a job they've done. They've just announced over 92,000 pounds of food donated here tonight. And the next food drive, as you can see, will be at Mosaic, where they might match that on August the 13th. So it was 13-0 in the first half in favor of Saskatchewan. The Edmonton Eskimos got their offense rolling in the late stages of the second quarter with consecutive touchdown marches. Another touchdown here in the third quarter, and a 1-point lead. Little play action fake and the quarterback option, and Newsom gets involved in another play as he brings Riley to the turf.
He's starting to show just what everyone was talking about in Saskatchewan about Jonathan Newsom. Just a great ability to redirect. He can run for a big man at 6'3", 247. Good tackle in the open field on a good running quarterback in Mike Riley. He knows it. 5th-round draft pick by the Colts just a couple of years ago.
Started at Ohio State, transferred to Ball State. 3-man rush here on second down. Riley with the throw, and it's incomplete. Skipped before it reached the intended target, Nate Kuhorn.
And this is the type of athlete that Jonathan Newsom really is, because on that last defensive play, didn't throw the ball in his area, but watch how quickly he redirects and then again drops into coverage. So now Chris Jones can use basically a rush end, the defensive end, stand-up rush position as a linebacker as well. And Jones loves versatility in his defensive players.
It's too easy.
Newsom and A.C. Leonard have made plenty of noise, and two of the reasons why Sean Lemon was made expendable and now a member of the Toronto Argonauts.
Made a play last night, forcing a fumble.
Nice boot, and Kendall Lawrence, after a 55-yard punt, will bring it back across the 35 and fumble. Another ball in the carpet. Who's got it? Eskimos say they got it. And it is Eskimo football.
Daniel Lawrence didn't even want to look back. He knew it right away, got up and just walked to the bench. Ball security tonight, an issue. And it's not necessarily massive hits that are jarring the ball out of these running backs, receivers, returners. It's just a little bit loose and see the ball a little bit away from the body. And
that Neil King, the product of Sherwood Park, who helped jar it loose. Kendall Lawrence fumbled a kick return in the Grey Cup game last year. Put the Eskimos in an early hole, and now Edmonton with the football at the Roughrider 38. And Riley going deep, end zone! Touchdown! No, incomplete, or is it intercepted? Justin Cox comes up with it, and no signal, they're saying incomplete.
he tried to sell it.
Boy, it looked like Kuhorn had brought that down.
Had it in his hands there. Snuck out the back.
And does
Did
it ever hit the
touch the
turf?
ground? I'm not sure
Wow.
it did.
We might get a challenge here. Chris Jones wants a look at the scoreboard.
Well, I tell you
Did that
what,
ever hit the ground?
Justin Cox got up almost like he was selling it and then smiled as if, yeah, okay, maybe I didn't catch it. But when you take a look at this replay in slow motion, did that ball ever touch the ground? I'm not sure it did.
May have bounced.
Let's take another look from that first angle.
Does it hit right there?
Looked
Or
like it
does
hit
that
the
go
left
off
arm.
The forearm of Cox.
Off the
Hard to
left
tell.
arm, rolls up onto his right shoulder. Chris Jones.
Kuhorn's slow to get up, and it's giving the Roughriders a little extra time here to decide whether they should challenge it. They've got the iPad out. And it really is hard to tell. He's going to take a shot at it.
He's going to take a shot.
I wonder if Justin Cox helped convince him, but not even sure he'd know whether or not
Well,
that ball made contact.
Yeah, I don't think he knew because he got up kind of trying to sell it and then had this kind of smirk on his face as if, okay, yeah, maybe I did, as they waved it off as incomplete.
And in fairness, the officials took a while before they did wave it off.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Saskatchewan is challenging that it was an interception. We'll review the play. Jake, they're challenging that.
Now they have to find enough evidence to overturn the call that was made on the field, which was an incomplete pass. Is there enough evidence to overturn it? But as it looks like it's coming through, but it doesn't touch the ground yet. And then the left arm of Cox is underneath. It bounces off that arm. And unless the tip of the ball touches the ground right in there, which we don't actually see.
Kind of stayed on top of the back of Kuhorn. Does it hit there or not?
No, didn't hit there. Okay.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Incomplete pass, right?
There.
Second down.
I'm not
At
sure
least
it did.
that's the interpretation.
You know,
So
I'm
it's a
not,
tough one to
and
call.
I'm not sure it did, but I'm not. I think the ruling is made because was there enough evidence to change the call on the field? In other words, if that was ruled an interception, that may have stayed as well.
So it's 2nd and 10. Anthony Barrett now the wide out in place of Kuhorn, who has to sit out for 3 plays. Just get the play off and then run it to White. And a burst down inside the 30 is going to come up about a yard short. Decision time for Jason Moss. It'll be 3rd and a yard. And they'll stay out. They got a good surge the last time on a third down sneak by Riley behind Sorensen and O'Donnell. Fourth third down gamble. Right side, and he's got it. This time using O'Donnell and D'Anthony Batiste. The right tackle.
You got a guy on the right side, a guard the size of O'Donnell. I'd go behind that guy every time on short yardage.
6'11",
Yeah,
350. That big enough for you?
just get him leaning downhill and follow right behind him.
Former draft choice of the Roughriders. And here's Corey Watson on a misdirection. Brought down by Buddy Jackson at the 20. So 6 for Corey Watson, fourth catch of the night. 2nd and 4 in the final minute of this third quarter.
Didn't look like Mike Riley was sure about that call that came from the bench. I'm not sure if you caught that expression from the quarterback, but it was kind of like one of those, really? Okay, we're going to call this one looks.
Let's see what they got. Got John White skipping down inside the 15. Work.
And that's why, because Riley looked to the bench. He got the call for a run play on second and medium from Jason Moss and gave it kind of a look like, really? Are we going with the run here? But this is the confidence Moss has in John White.
First down can be made.
95 yards for White. And just coming up to three-quarter time. First down. Riley throws, and it's caught. Walker matched up against Buddy Jackson, held on. They give him forward progress at the 5. So it will be 2nd and 4 from the 5-yard line. Got time for one more? No, that is the end of the third quarter. So we're through 3 quarters here at the Brick Field at Commonwealth Stadium. A 1-point Edmonton lead and threatening to add. Rest of quarter number 3.
Turnovers becoming a bit of the story here, and the defense is making some adjustments. Darian Durant at 152 yards passing in the first half.
Well, this is funny. You caught this. How often do you look at the boss and give him this kind of look?
He got the call on the run play on second and medium. Went,
Like, really?
Really? Okay. All right, let's do that.
Yeah, you can do that, but don't you hate it when the boss is right?
Exactly. And in this case, he was. And of course, Jason Moss has great confidence in John White to run the ball in 2nd and 5. They can pick up the first down, but I love the expression. A run play? Really? Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, the run game's working, though. John White, and we're seeing an early trend that the run game is back in vogue. White on the verge of a 100-yard game. It could come here. They fake to White, dish it off, Bowman, touchdown. Darius Bowman has his 2nd touchdown of the night.
It's such a great play. It's a great red zone play. Bowman out one side, and with the play fake and the run game established to a point where Jason Moss is calling a run on 2nd and 5 and converting that run on 2nd and 5. Linebackers and D-line have got to respect John White, and that allows Bowman to shoot out the formation and pick up the touchdown.
Touchdown off the turnover. 100 yards on the night for Bowman. White adds the extra point. And the lead is now 28-19.
You see it almost every offense has it. The fake to White up the middle, and a Darius Bowman shooting out the right side of the formation. Newsom and the linebackers in Iguavan have got to respect that run, or John White runs through that B gap between tackle and guard, and it's an easy walk in the end zone. And then they get stuck getting outflanked by the receiver shooting out the right side of the formation.
Using the Eskimo scoreboard, which is a mistake. It's 27-19. The Eskimo scoreboard guy wants an extra point on the board. 7 plays, 38 yards, the touchdown drive. And now 13 points off turnovers for Edmonton. Saskatchewan gave up 14 points off turnovers last week against Toronto. And Kendall Lawrence, faux pas costly there. And here's Lawrence, good change of direction, got something here, and then gets taken down by Grant Shaw up across the 40-yard line. So a sluggish third quarter offensively for Durant, who looked like he was on pace for 300 tonight at halftime.
Yeah, 152 at halftime. So some adjustments made defensively by the Edmonton Eskimos and Mike Benavides to take away what Darian Durant did in the first half. A lot of it was Ricky Collins.
4 for 6, 33 yards in the third quarter for Durant. Passing, short drop, pump, nobody there. So he goes the other way and has a connection to Naaman Roosevelt.
Durant wanted to go with the pump fake to Shamad Chambers down here, and watch Pat Watkins jam him. Now you're only allowed to jam after 5 yards or before 5 yards. You can't make that contact, so there's a missed call there. Darian Durant goes over the middle to Roosevelt here.
One catch for Roosevelt, who had 9 in the opener for 113 against the Argos. First down, Durant gets hit but got it away. Checked it down to Steele, who fumbles, but I think gets back on it. And a flag down in the Rough Rider backfield.
Kenny Ladler, I think, knocked that ball out of there.
Somebody get a shot in on Durant, or is this a hold against Saskatchewan?
Holding. Saskatchewan number 68. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Thaddeus Coleman, member of the Eskimos last year, the right tackle, draws the flag.
Some kind of play by Kenny Ladler to knock that ball out. Watch this throw. Durant just drops it. That's a check down. And Ladler with the back heel.
Oh,
it's a little MLS back heel.
That's the Scorpion, I think. First down, and it's Chambers in traffic, and he can't escape the gang tackling from the green and gold.
Chambers got to be careful about how he's carrying the football. We've seen some sloppy ball handling a little bit here tonight. And that time he didn't lose it, but he had it out away from his body while he was being tackled.
3 second and 17. Need a big play. Last week, Durant had 48 attempts, the 4th most in his career in a single game. Going to the air here. And the pass underneath, caught by Chambers. Maybe the first man missed, but there's Alex Hoffman-Ellis, the newcomer, just acquired from the Hamilton Ticats, to make sure Chambers can't get to the first down stick.
I tell you what, Dan Clark went down early, but this offensive line and maybe that adjustment that Chris Jones made is playing very well. Darian Durant's been pretty clean all game long, and that's saying something. I mean, we haven't talked about Marcus Howard or Odell Willis all game long, and we're into the 4th quarter now. He's walking to throws untouched.
Lead onto the field was Ray Hartman. And this is McKnight at the 9. There's McKnight. Flag comes down as he crosses the 15. We'll sort out the penalty When we come back, Darius Bowman has a pair of touchdowns in this Eskimo lead. Offense up before they scrimmage. Let's go back to Ryan Rashog.
About the success the Eskimos have had with tempo offense. It wasn't that way early on in the game as they were having a little bit of trouble getting it going. And I talked to Jason Moss in training camp about the dangers of tempo offense and how if you don't have success early in a game, it's a difficult thing to stay committed to. The temptation is to slow it down, let them huddle up, let the quarterback talk to his receivers. He does not want to do that. He wants to push through no matter what the early returns are. And we saw here today, they pushed through, the tempo offense fell into a rhythm, and they got great results after about the first quarter.
Like they huddled during training camp. A pass back into the hands of Bowman, who has become a huge factor again. His 27th career 100-yard game.
Yeah, Chris, that's what Mike Riley told us going into last week, that for the first time ever, he never huddled one time in camp. That's 2-a-day practices. That's a lot of plays run in training camp, and never huddled once because Jason Moss wanted to implement this tempo.
And to get them up to speed, they didn't even have the 20-second clock. It was a little shorter than that to make sure they were in high tempo. Second read is complete over the middle.
You know, the other point, and I think as good as he is, he'll have a better season this year with Jason Moss helping him. Riley told us that this is the first year that he has been this involved with the game planning and the putting together of the offense. And that's Moss wanting his starting quarterback to be in control of it.
5 yards for Watson. Well, give him 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. 5 receiver set. White releases, but it's Terrell Walker wide open across the middle. And Walker up at the 45-yard line. There is a flag, though, back in the Eskimo backfield. It's a holding call that's going to negate this Walker catch.
Well, this is a big penalty. That throw got him out of the
Holding.
hole.
Edmonton number 67. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
That's D'Anthony Batiste, the right tackle.
This is a big one. Let's take a look. Right tackle, D'Anthony Batiste on cap. You just can't get your arm up over the shoulder pads and around the neck of the defensive end. That's just sloppy technique by Batiste, and it's a big penalty. Edmonton was out of this hole.
And now 2nd and 14. Riley's got some time, airing it out. Corey Watson, midfield and more. All the way to the Saskatchewan 32-yard line. Finally brought down by Othel Foster.
It looked to me like Mike Riley did a nice job of looking off coverage here. Locking down the middle. Well, actually, he did lock down the middle on Corey Watson.
68-yard play. And Watson goes over 100. And Riley going back to work deep. Touchdown! Hat trick! Darius Bowman.
Ed Gainey's pleading for the offensive pass interference. No flags down.
May get a challenge here. 68 yards to Watson. 31 into the end zone for Bowman. Let's find out if it withstands the challenge.
There's Bowman. In the slot, the short side. You see Gainey running with them on the inside shoulder, turns to the football.
Jake,
I didn't see any push from Bowman on that replay.
Saskatchewan is challenging that there was offensive pass interference on the play.
Well, Chris Jones very frustrated, back-to-back deep balls. First looked like a busted coverage, just a mistake back in the back end. Down the middle to Corey Watson. And then this one, unless right at the beginning of that turn there was a slight push, but I really didn't see it. You see it?
No. Different angle, though. This might give you something. It looked like Gainey just lost his footing.
And Gainey just tripped as he tried to turn back around.
Boy, a guy who wasn't even thrown at in the first quarter ends up with another monster night.
No, that's not offensive pass interference in my book.
It was a defiant challenge by Jones, but
yeah, I think Chris Jones has got both back-to-back plays on his mind. He's just trying to stop the carnage, so to speak.
Well, they were again backed up and gave up 99 yards in 2 plays.
Well, and it could be the game. I mean, that was the time when the Chris Jones defense could get that stop and get great field position, and in 2 plays, Riley goes the lengths of the field and puts it in the end zone. A busted coverage with Corey Watson down the middle.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. There's no offensive pass interference.
Officials have done a good job here tonight on some difficult calls, but I wonder if Gainey convinced the coach to throw that challenge flag too with a little signal of some kind, because it looked like Chris Jones may have said something to him there.
Another big night for Bowman against the Roughriders. Last year, 21 catches, 319 yards, and a touchdown in 2 games. He had a 12-catch, 208-yard game. Tonight, 6 for 141 and 3 touchdowns. And the convert's blocked. Newsom again. Jonathan Newsom gets in there to block the convert, and so it's a 14-point lead. Roughriders within 2 converted touchdowns, but they have to find a way to stop number 4 as Mike Riley goes deep. We are professional grade. 5 plays, 105 yards. Darius Bowman with a 31-yard touchdown grab, his 3rd of the night.
Great touchdown catch. That Corey Watson play was the game changer.
Nick Dembski's on the return, and he'll get dragged down.
Cover 2, and Corey Watson's going to split it. And here's Watson here coming down. Now let me show you the cover 2 defense here. Go ahead and run it for a bit here, guys, and freeze it right here. Okay, now you got 2 deep. And here comes Corey Watson with 2 other deep threats, holding the deep defenders outside the hash marks, so the middle is always vulnerable in a cover 2. Watson makes the play of the game. Turned into a touchdown.
68 yards, one of the biggest plays he's made. A wide side throw to Dembski and tossed out by Dion Ballou. So the Roughriders have to get aggressive on offense. 4 yards there. Gary Durant's got time for a couple of touchdown drives, but has not had much traction here in the second half.
When you say cover 2, it's 2 deep. It means 2 deep zone.
2nd and 6. Steele releases, pressure on, and the pass incomplete, but there is a flag. Let's find out which way this is going. It's a holding call against the Roughriders. Armando Sewell a handful on that play.
Holding. Saskatchewan number 57. The penalty is declined. 3rd down.
On the left guard, Brendan Labatt. Haven't put a lot of pressure on Durant, but at an opportune time, they come up with a big 2 and out. So Bartell to punt. McKnight awaits at the Edmonton 30. 46 37-yard punt, makes the first wave miss, but fumbles again, and the Roughriders are going to get on it. That's 2 fumbles in the game for Joe McKnight. And ball security has been an issue on the return team for both sides tonight. What a break. The Roughriders have new life. They're still fighting for it down there. Lord knows what else is going on in that pile, but it is Saskatchewan football. Greg Newman with the forced fumble. .ca/CFL Fantasy for your chance to win a weekly Moores gift card with a grand prize, the Joseph Abood wardrobe, and a trip for 2 to the Grey Cup.
Joe McKnight put a couple on the ground. I'm not sure he'll get back on the field. Teammates try and keep him positive.
New life for the Roughriders, who have seen Edmonton score 19 unanswered second half. Durant spins it downfield. Incomplete. He was looking for Rob Bagg. Matched up against Lodler there again.
You know, simple fundamental here for McKnight. I mean, the ball's too loose, hanging outside of his body. He's got to protect the inside point of the football underneath his arm. See how it's just swinging out there wide? That's too wide. You got to bury the point of the ball underneath your armpit to have good, strong ball security. That's fundamental stuff.
Second and 10. Eskimos bring pressure, and the pass is caught in the flat. And Chambers is pushed out short of the first down, so it's 3rd down. And Chris Jones looking at 3rd and 5 with over 6 minutes to go.
That's a lot of time. I'd be tempted to take the points.
I think you got to stay on the field, don't you?
I don't know about that. You should have possession with 6 minutes, 2-3 times more in this game. But Chris Jones didn't even consider it. I don't even think now Darian Durant's not liking what he sees.
Okay. You're right. 2 field goals and a touchdown and 2-point convert get you even.
Or a field goal and a touchdown wins it for you. You're going to see the football in another 2, 3, maybe 4 more series with 6 minutes to go. In Canadian football, it could be more than that. But Chris Jones decided, I don't think he really considered it. He was just thinking, let's go. How far do we have to go, and what's the play call?
Well, you could say we could score 3 times, but the way Mike Riley's played in the second half, maybe he thinks he needs a major to have any chance here.
Yeah, that's part of it. And you're on the road and deep in the home field territory, so take a shot when you can.
Trying to convert on 3rd and 5. And flipping it to the end zone. Touchdown! John Childs! First catch of the night, 2nd touchdown of the year for John Childs. And what a 3rd down conversion. Roughriders are still very much in it.
Well, this is a jump ball to his tallest receiver in Childs, and the ball's out of his hands immediately. Throw it up there and let the big man go get it.
Tallest and fastest. Points off turnovers as the McKnight fumble gets the Roughriders back in it. Bold call, Carpina, the convert, and now they're within 7.
Call's always the right one when it works, and this time it works. John Childs. But it was the timing, the pocket presence from Darian Durant as well, and the air he puts under the ball to allow his big receiver to go get it, and Childs just going to block him out. Durant throws this ball before John Childs is even in the end zone. Just floats it up there, and then Childs, like a good rebounder in basketball, just keeps the defender off him, protects the football, and catches it even low. He doesn't have to go up and catch it at the top part, at the high point.
3 plays and a third down play, 25 yards. And who is the return man?
No,
It's not going to be
no,
McKnight.
sir. We'll have to think about that on the bench.
So the Eskimos send out Greg Morris and Ford Parks. So Jason Moss. Well, they got a short kick in here. And it's a jump ball and off an Eskimo, I believe. Let's see. Roughriders think it was a Saskatchewan. Yes, it's a Saskatchewan last touch. Well, with 5:20 to go, you might think about kicking it deep and letting your defense, but there's momentum here with the Roughriders on another bold call by Chris Jones.
Yeah, I mean, at 5:20, I don't think Jason Moss for a second thought that Chris Jones was going to try an onside kick there and give up field position after the touchdown and allow Mike Riley, if they recover it, to have half the field. But Jordan Reeves.
Yeah, you talked about John Childs in the basketball move. Here's the former Brandon Bobcat basketball player Jordan Reeves tipping it out.
You got it.
6'4", 220. And Durant right back to work, and it's caught. Ricky Collins has another catch in traffic.
In double coverage. He gets this in double coverage, and this guy's emerged. Game 2 for the Riders of the regular season. Ricky Collins is a keeper.
Big catch, 106 yards for Collins on the night.
That's 3 spectacular ones. That one looked pedestrian. Now he's starting to make them look easy.
Boy, is this turned on the McKnight fumble. And now wide side throw, and Dembski brought it down. Short gain, but a good catch by the youngster.
Those tough on the field deserve a truck that's tough on the road. The 2016 GMC Sierra.
Well.
A third down gamble for a touchdown. A short kick with over 5 minutes to go, and Roughriders are 32 yards from where they want to be. And a pass for Collins just a little behind him. And blew in coverage. Incomplete, third down. And decision time again. 3rd and 5 the last time, 3rd and 4. Not sure you're in a rush. You're not necessarily in the same boat here, but they're going to keep rolling the dice. Deciding that 3 isn't enough. Offense stays on the field, and they draw the Eskimos offside. Unless they're going to argue about who moved first.
Well, this is where the new video official can help.
Saskatchewan number 69. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Well, they call it on Kennedy Estelle, the newcomer in his first game, at right guard. Now the field goal team will come on. There it is.
Yeah, a little flinch out of his 3-point stance. That hand on the ground, you can't rock back like that. Now they will kick the field goal. Or attempt it.
Well, Crapina from 45 yards out. Ford Parks in the end zone, and Crapina nails it. So it's 33-29, 4-point lead. One more play before the 3-minute warning. Looked like the Eskimos were home and cooled out with that last touchdown pass to Bowman, getting the ball back again with a 14-point lead, but one fumble, one mistake opens the door.
Just got uncomfortable all of a sudden for the home team, and 2 aggressive calls from the head coach of the Riders and Chris Jones.
Now, because we're outside 3 minutes when that field goal hit, the Eskimos do have the option of taking it at the 35. And they'll give it to John White, who will try and chew up the clock and some yardage down the stretch. The 3-minute warning here at the Brick Field at Commonwealth Stadium. Kerber, but the big one, Canadian sports history tomorrow as well. Milos Raonic, Andy Murray. Our coverage begins 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific across TSN 1, 3, and 5. What a doubleheader tonight. Overtime tie. Red Blacks and Stampeders. And the Roughriders have pulled within 4 here with over 2.5 minutes left. A pump from Riley. He wants a whole bunch. Dropped it. No, incomplete. Looked like Darrell Walker had a circus catch.
He thinks there should be a call there. He thought
he's
he
going to
had
get it. Flag came out late, but Walker knew all along. Boy, is this one explosive offense.
Objectionable conduct. 87 Edmonton. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So it was against Walker.
That was for the flag
For the
motion.
flag, yep. But Jason Moss thought he did see pass interference. And so he wants another look.
Take another look at it. Darrell Walker, short side of the
Edmonton
field.
is challenging that there's pass interference on the play. We'll review the play.
Working against Buddy Jackson.
Now it looks like they're okay at this point. Now, did he grab him as he tried to get back? A little bit of a tug on the jersey.
Not enough. Different look.
That's late. That was after the tug when
got his hands there to knock it out of Walker's.
And
that's the first time we've seen the call this year for
it is, yeah.
A receiver trying to get the pass interference call. You leave that to the coach in the challenge, which Jason Moss has done.
Take another look. As this shot comes into focus here at the end of it, Darrell Walker got up there to get his hands on that at all, but
punched out though by Jackson. It's like a good defensive play, and a loss of down means 3rd and 16 unless overturned by this challenge.
Take one more look at one different angle on this challenge here just to see if there was a pull on the jersey at all. Again, that one, it doesn't come into focus till after. Let's take one more look at this look here. Buddy Jackson's in inside position. He's got his hand. That seems to be okay. But was there a tug after the fact? A couple more frames, hold it there.
There's the hand on the shoulder pad. Not sure that's enough. Or not.
Yeah, you could see a little tug there.
The jersey pulled.
The question is that enough?
What a critical call this is, and
you know, it's one of those calls where it's in the fine line of, by the letter of the law, it probably is, but he let go. It was almost incidental as they went up for the ball together, and the receiver got both hands on. We'll see.
After review, there's no pass interference on the play. The ruling on the field stands. Edmonton will be charged with their 2nd timeout.
I don't have a problem with either way, because again, it's one of those, well, by the letter of the law, there was a grab on the jersey slightly, but in reality, you let the guys play in that scenario. I think it was a good common sense decision by the control center, or command center.
Roughriders are going to get the football with a lot of time and an opportunity to steal one here in Edmonton tonight. Kendall Lawrence, former Eskimo, one of many. Good return up around the 45-yard line. So Darian Durant has an opportunity.
Passed Conrad Holloway in this game and has a few former Riders ahead of him.
Yeah, look at the next guys on the list. Kerry Joseph, Tom Burgess, and then a few more to Kent Austin, all former Roughriders. If you're new to the game and don't know who Conrad Holloway is, he was pretty good, wasn't he? Out of Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
Ottawa Roughriders, Toronto Argonaut, and a guy that may have some similarities to Darian Durant in style. Maybe not as big as Durant. Durant to work. Curtis Steele's got a catch. And the first down, and all of a sudden, Roughriders are in Edmonton territory.
Got the hurry up going, and in this scenario, Darian Durant wants to not only obviously move it into scoring position and finish with that touchdown, go-ahead touchdown, but take all the 2:01 off the clock in the process.
13 for Curtis Steele. Eskimos let one slip away against the Red Blacks in their opener. Durant underneath. There's Collins, another catch. And he slides forward close to another first down.
Well, now he shows us a great move in the open field after a short crossing route to get that first down marker. Boy, he's made some spectacular catches tonight. Catches in traffic, and now make a guy miss in Patrick Watkins.
Even slid off Jarrett for a couple of extra yards, and he'll get a measurement out of this. Collins with 6 catches now in the game.
Mike Benavides got a decision to make here. Does he send pressure on Durant, leave his defensive secondary in man-to-man situation, or does he drop off and make Durant throw it underneath and see if they can cause a fumble with a linebacker like J.C. Sherritt coming up to make a hit?
I'd suggest almost free play territory here, except for the record the Riders have had on third down gambles, but it is second and inches, so pretty big playbook here for Durant. Looks like they just want the first down, and they'll get it. That's as well as they've executed a quarterback sneak so far this season.
Well, if you're a betting man right now and you're a Rider fan, you're taking number 3 to be a big part of the next couple of plays here in this minute 35. Ricky Collins, 6 catches, 116, a touchdown. 3 of those catches spectacular fashion. He might not be done yet.
Another reason they might have gone with the sneak on second down is they've almost got to take some time off the clock. Here's the drop. Good play by Durant just to field that snap, and Curtis Steele takes it down around the 34.
That could have been disastrous for the Riders. I mean, that was a low, hot snap that the quarterback scoops off the turf and still is able to get that ball in the draw to Curtis Steele. That shoots through there. It's game over.
Eskimos won both meetings last year, 5 of the last 6 for the Roughriders. Have a shot at stealing this one. Sideline pattern, jump ball too far. Intended for Chambers, Watkins in coverage, and a flag down, and so is Darian Durant. And it looks like Marcus Howard going to get flagged.
He's wondering.
Major foul, roughing the passer. 91 Edmonton. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Well, Marcus Howard, I'm not sure why he's surprised here for a couple of reasons. One, it's late, but 2, it's high. Inside, ball gone, high hit around the head area with the right arm. I mean, it's over the last couple of years, that's called every time.
Riders back in the red zone, 2 for 2 tonight. 18 yards away from the lead. First down, taking a shot for Dembski, and incomplete, and almost intercepted. Neil King in support of Dion Ballou.
Well, Ballou was, I think, calling this one. He was in a better position than Dembski was. It looked like Dembski almost became DB. Neil King just flew to the football from the middle. See if the teammates run into each other. Nick Dembski helps by pulling Ballou down a little bit just before the ball arrives, and that saves the interception.
2nd and 10. Durant stands in over the middle. He's got a completion to Naaman Roosevelt. Marcel Young in coverage, but Roosevelt's got the catch. And a Roughrider first down with 43 seconds on the clock.
2 receivers into the boundary, and it's going to be that inside guy, Naaman Roosevelt.
Second straight game, Durant's got over 300.
Pretty good coverage. He just came back to the football nicely. You just see pressure defensively down here in this end of the field.
It got away from the Eskimos against the Red Blacks 2 weeks ago. Durant, short drop, quick hitter, and it's a Rough Rider touchdown! Shamad Chambers, the former Eskimo!
Two slants to Durant's left. He takes the outside slant from the former Eskimo, Shamad Chambers. Coverage all over his back, and Chambers finds the chemistry with his quarterback when they need it the most.
Top Canadian in the Grey Cup game. And a huge catch here to put Jason Moss's team down by 2 pending this convert attempt. Jones going for 1 here to make sure they've got a 3-point lead, and the Eskimos go offside unless somebody moved there in green and white.
I'm not sure Patrick Watkins can cover Shamad Chambers any better than he did on that slant. Remember, Durant tried to hit Shamad Chambers 3 times deep. There it is. Tried to hit him 3 times deep in the first half and missed him. And both weren't quite on the same page, but you heard Durant say, right at the right time.
Repeat the convert.
Yeah, they had trouble making that connection in the first half, but big second half for Chambers, and a huge fourth quarter for the Roughriders after they had stalled in quarter number 3.
Started on that turnover by Joe McKnight. Momentum shifted, and the Riders have been rolling since. Offside again.
Offside. The 19 seconds remaining. And maybe time for a couple of plays after the kick return for Jason Moss, Mike Riley, and the Edmonton offense.
Offside.
If we ever get this convert.
Edmonton again. They're trying to come off the edge and block this. Keep it a 2-point game.
One team will register its first win. The other goes to 0-2. An 8-play, 64-yard touchdown drive. Rapina adds the extra point, and the Saskatchewan Roughriders lead by 3.
Double slants here, and Shamad Chambers is the outside slant right there, and then there's another one here, Naaman Roosevelt. Patrick Watkins can't cover this much better, but again, Shamad Chambers using his big body to keep Watkins away from the football, and Durant throws it low and inside, so only Chambers has a shot at it. And like he said on the sideline, Darian Durant to his receiver, hey, it took us a half to get there, but right at the right time, you make the big play and come through.
Let's go.
Well, Chris Jones has made some bold moves. The 3rd and 5 call that ended up in a John Childs touchdown. A short kick to keep the momentum going. And does he come back to Edmonton and haunt the Eskimos here tonight?
Well, if he can finish this, I'll tell you one thing. Players love that aggressive style of coaching. Go and get it and play it to win it. Be aggressive.
Of course, Mike Riley's made some big plays tonight to Bowman, Walker, Watson. Toward Parks to set things up if he can. Somebody lets Parks without the lid, and the Whistle goes with 13 seconds to go. Dangerous play with the helmet popping off. So Mike Riley has 1 or 2 plays left to
Silver with the race.
come back.
Well, with the Darius Bowman, 3 touchdowns tonight, and Darrell Walker in the lineup, you just put those 2 in the boundary and throw it up or put them to the wide side. That's where right now Durant's doing that. Walker and Bowman together to the wide side of the field. Excuse me, Riley.
3-man front, 9 are deep, standing around midfield. Pressure on, but Riley gets away and now throws to the sidelines, quickly out. 7 seconds on the clock. Cohorn the catch.
Smart by Nate Cohorn on the outside. Get out of bounds quickly.
So need to execute a play in about 6 seconds and get 15 yards or so to get White in the field goal range.
Darrell Walker in the short side can get him 15 and out of bounds quickly with about 2 seconds left here.
That's where they're looking. He's open and he's out. 3 seconds to go. That was awfully easy, and Sean White's going to get a crack at it.
Buddy Jackson had backed up about 25 yards on that short side. Darrell Walker had tons of room to give them a shot for the long field goal and the tie.
Well, 2 weeks ago it was Chris Milo, a 55-yarder to tie it. Let's see what Sean White can do. Career best. Longest is 53. This will be from 51 yards out, it looks like. Play not whistled in yet. They're confirming the right amount of time on the clock. We're ready to go now. Are we going to overtime in back-to-back games on a Friday night doubleheader? Sean White to tie, and we are going to overtime.
Oh, baby.
Back-to-back overtime games for the Eskimos. Back-to-back tonight.
Last week, when Ottawa tied with a long kick in regulation, Jason Moss turned and went, wow, unbelievable kick. This time it was his guy making the long ball. Here in White, who nails it. And Moss's reaction coming off the bench was, all right, our turn. Come back and tie it up.
5 for 5 in week 1. He gets worked over by the holder, Jordan Lynch, but didn't flinch with the game on the line. I can get used to these overtime games.
Let's do it.
But can we finish them with a win and a loss?
We'll see.
Which end would you like to play in? You'll play down here? Okay, so you bring your offense out.
I'll remind you of the overtime rules. A couple of series for both teams, potentially.
A maximum of 2 mini games. Start on the 35-yard line going in. You have to match. You have to go for 5-yard line going in. You have to match. You have to go for 2-point convert on any touchdown scored. And if Team B doesn't match what Team A gets, game over.
Eskimos going to go on offense first. Slight. Well, it is an advantage for the second team, isn't it?
Well, I think every time if you win the toss, you're going second. You know what you have to deal with. Because there is a new coin toss after regulation.
Well, they had a chance to get into field goal range with 2 plays, and Mike Riley executed it perfectly.
Yeah, and you know, as aggressive as Chris Jones was down the stretch in this fourth quarter, that last couple of plays on defense, he had everyone backed right off, giving Darrell Walker lots of room on that out to set up the game-tying field goal.
Plenty of commentary and words written about the Chris Jones return to Edmonton, but I'm not sure anybody anticipated how good this storyline could be just on the football field. Bowman in motion. They'll fake it to White. Give it to Watson with room and a cutback. Corey Watson has the first down before he gets pushed out of bounds by a swarm of Roughriders.
Almost like Mike Riley, the leader, knowing how important this is. He ran over there to make sure Watson hung on to the football and got out of bounds. Like, just, I know the clock doesn't matter now, but just make sure you don't get too crazy over there and turn it over.
118 for number 18 on the night. A terrific night for Corey Watson. You saw a word with Chris Getzlaff. I wonder if 89's next on the call sheet. No, it's White who fumbles and picks it up and is dropped at the 25. Wow. It'll be a loss of 1, but that could have been absolute disaster.
Well, you turn it over and the defense scores, it's game over. You turn it over and Saskatchewan gets their offensive opportunity. They're in field goal range before they run a play, so can't turn it over in overtime.
2nd and 12. Time, throw, Bowman, end zone. Can't make the catch. Number 4 almost had his 4th, but Ed Gainey broke it up.
Nice recovery by Ed Gainey because he plays the hands of a Darius Bowman. Darius Bowman wants the challenge from Jason Moss that there was interference. He sprinted to the sideline.
Now let's have a look.
To get Moss's attention.
Was he there too quickly?
Take a look from this angle. Got the timing there from Ed Gainey pretty good. This is a corner route that he's playing the hands of Bowman. Like good defense to me.
So White, who tied it with a 51-yarder. From 32 yards out, puts Edmonton in the lead, but the Roughriders have a chance. I'm sure Jason Moss had another challenge, didn't he?
I think in overtime, from the command center. I didn't think that's interference anyway. They got it right. It's been a well-officiated game from top to bottom. That was good timing from Ed Gainey to play the hands of Bowman. Now, we'll see what Darian Durant and this offense has.
Being told it's the first time since 1995 a pair of overtime games on the same night in the Canadian Football League. Darian Durant with a chance to win it needs a major score in the first pass. Incomplete. He wanted Childs over the middle. John Childs and there's Dion Lacey. There defensively. I think Childs thought there was a penalty and now realizes it's 2nd and 10. Childs goes to the sidelines. He's still looking at the scoreboard for a replay, and Durant wants the next play.
Yeah, he didn't get a play.
Clock's running.
He's got 10 seconds to get him all over the ball.
Well, better be careful too, because I want to take a penalty here and make the field goal any tougher. They get it off. Here comes the rush underneath Steele. Curtis Steele lunging towards the first down. He's going to be close. See where the spot is, and they're going to mark him about a yard short. So Chris Jones has one more decision.
Oh boy. Here you go. It looks like it's by the yardsticks. It's inside of a yard.
Just inside a yard.
And you could see Chris Jones getting a good hard look at it.
Knowing that it has been an adventure on these short yardage situations for the Roughriders.
If he uses the same blueprint as he has through the back half of this fourth quarter, he's going for it on third down.
Now, Chris Jones doesn't play the tie, does he?
But he can extend the game with a very makeable field goal from the right hash going in, the right hash mark.
But this is your chance to win.
On the
other
road.
team has settled for 3.
But this just shy of a yard, as you just mentioned, Chris, is nowhere near a guarantee just to fall forward like people think it is.
Especially when we've seen this team
they've had
fumble the
issues.
football twice in this exact situation already this year.
Eddie Steele, Armando Sewell, they have something to say about this too down in the middle of that, and they want to get exactly where they're going to put their hand down because it's just past the line.
Big boys come in.
Outside. They just got it. This is about leverage. Low man wins in short yardage.
Armando Sewell says bring it on. Andrew Jones and Spencer Moore check into the jumbo offense. Again, it's not just the surge, it's the exchange from Dan Clark to the quarterback Durant. They need to get across the 25, and I'm not sure. The ball was on Durant's hip. His helmet broke the plane, but did the football. And where do they put the ball?
They're bringing in the change. They've got the foot down.
It has to be on the white paint, and is it?
Andrew Wakefield, the line judge, had his foot down. It's short of the line.
It's not. And the Edmonton Eskimos are going to win this in overtime if that line is as straight as it should be. That's the difference between win and loss. And Jason Moss has his first Canadian Football League head coaching victory. Are you kidding? An unbelievable overtime finish.
The Riders are stunned.
They're going to review this spot, but from our vantage point, it didn't look like Durant. You can see the ball on his right hip. He didn't reach that line.
Share it up over the top, but that's the glamour spot from the linebacker coming over, but the work and the heavy lifting is underneath.
And they have confirmed it.
The review goes to the command center.
I think they got it right.
I do too. Wow, haven't seen that before.
I think we just got an instant classic. And it's time now for our Nissan Titan player of the game.
Took him a while to get him going. Didn't have one in the first quarter, but 6 catches, 41 and 3 touchdowns. Darius Bowman is our guy, and I'm going to give a special mention to Ricky Collins. The Riders win this game. Ricky Collins is the player of the game. It was that close, but big one for number 4.
Nissan Titan player of the game brought to you by the Nissan Titan, the official vehicle of the Canadian Football League. We had a pair of overtime games tonight, one tie and one that finished in the most unlikely of fashions. A failed 3rd and 1 quarterback sneak and a first victory shower for Jason Moss as a head coach. 39-36 the final. Eskimos winners. SportsCenter is next.